Hello everyone, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So, as promised, I got around to doing the Swedish Allsvenskan League for 2023. They don't do, they do their league in a calendar year, so they start in about March and finish later on in the year, so they don't go over the Christmas period where it's just too cold in Sweden to play football. So this is for the season currently underway, the 2023 season, and we're going to look at all the stadiums of the clubs featuring in this year's edition of the Swedish Allsvenskan. I really hope you enjoyed this video. A big shout out to all my Swedish subscribers, and to those of you who aren't Swedish and you're going to learn a little bit more about Swedish football today. The stadiums are either massive or completely tiny, so this is even more of a contrast. We saw last week the Dutch video where there were sort of three categories. It was either like below 10,000, sort of around the 20,000 mark, and then, 40,000. So in this one, it's going to be teeny tiny or massive. So you should be really entertained looking at this video. But hopefully you're also sleepy, because this is an ASMR video, of course. And you might fall asleep, and that's absolutely fine with me. So you go ahead and do so. Okay, you ready? Let's start. Start off in alphabetical order. AIK, the Friends Arena, 50,000. So this is probably I think it's the biggest one we're going to see in this entire video, similar to the Ajax Amsterdam Arena being first in the Dutch video last week. So yeah, the AIK Friends Arena, which I think is in Solna, so it's technically not in the capital city of Stockholm, where AIK's fan base is. But yeah, I think it's north or Solna is just outside the city. I think maybe it's west. And it's 50,000. And as you can see, this is usually used as the national stadium as well. So this is the Friends Arena for AIK. Don't think that they're all going to look like this in Sweden. This is a little bit of an exception. I shall show you why in a moment. So, bizarrely, these are the current champions. They're the reigning champions, trying to defend their championship this year. BK Häcken. They're actually from Gothenburg. So there are 2 teams from Gothenburg, and I think 4 or 5 from Stockholm in this league. Gothenburg being the second largest city in Sweden. So of course you wouldn't know that by looking at their name. This is the Bravida Arena, 6,500, so it's teeny tiny. You can see it's sort of on the outskirts of Gothenburg by the looks of it. Quite a small stadium, compact, close to the pitch, very nice for the people sat in it, because they're, there's no running track or anything. There's a nice little roof as well. But yeah, all the same, for the current reigning champions don't only have any 6,500 seating capacity is insane. So well done to them. You wouldn't hear of that happening in the English Premier League. Okay, so that is the stadium for the reigning champions, the Bravida Arena, 6,500 for BK Häcken. Next up, Brommapojkarna, IF Brommapojkarna. This is the Grimsta IP. 5,000. So you can see this stand here in the picture on the right hand side corresponds to this one here. And in this picture there looks to be some stands at the bottom, but I think this larger picture has them being removed, I'm not sure. And there seems to be another stand over there, but yeah, so it seems to be stand there, but nothing on the 2 ends. And this is just a teeny weeny 5,000. So this is for Idrottingsfotboll Hold, I think, Brommapojkarna Grimsta IP. And another relatively small one, most of them are going to be today. This is Degerfors IF, and this is Stora Valla. I think it means like the big veil or something, I'm not sure. 7,500, so it's not that big, I'm afraid. And again, it seems to have the one large stanchion on the right hand side there. There's a close-up of it, but then not much else. So fit them all in there, and a little bit down the bottom as well. I think maybe out of shot. There's some more here. But yeah, absolutely tiny. This is Degerfors. Stora Valla, 7,500. Okay, and then we switch completely. So we've got two back-to-back from the Tele2 Arena, both in Stockholm. I tried to choose different pictures so it didn't get boring though, so because they're in a row as well. So Djurgårdens IF, 30,000. And this is a really high-tech stadium with a retractable roof in more or less the centre of Stockholm. Actually, it's just to the south of the city centre, if I remember correctly. I think I've been to the outside, but I do get it yeah, I think I have been. Is there like a shiny, like massive disco ball or a golf ball somewhere around here? If so, then I've been outside the stadium. This is the Tele2 stadium. For this, they share a stadium, Djurgårdens, and the next club, which is Hammarby. So Hammarby, in English we often pronounce it Hammarby. Hammarby IF, Tele2 Arena, 30,000. So that's, oh yes, there we are. We can see the big weird golf ball thing just behind it. So I've stood next to that, so I've been to this area of Stockholm. And then this is the stadium all lit up. And then we've seen another picture of the stadium internally full with some flares going off. So that is one of the nicest stadiums in the country, the Tele2 Arena. Let's continue. Halmstads BK Örjans Vall. Very beautifully set on the river, and you can see that goes out into, I don't think it's the coast, I think there's a lake. 10,873. Again, similarly to some other of the smaller stadiums in Sweden, you've got the stanchion this side, the stanchion that side, but not much on the ends. And that's a close-up of the stand, so it's a little bit of a old stadium. I'm just trying to read this. Framtiden är grön. Free time is green. Himlen är blå. The sky is blue. I can't read that. Can somebody complete it in a comment? It must be like the club statement or whatever. Okay, so that is Halmstad's Örjans Vall, 10,873. Okay, IF Elfsborg, BolS Arena, 16,899. So it happens to be one of the larger stadiums by default because it's over 10,000 in Sweden. So you can see these two very large roof sections here. So we must be sitting, well, that's opposite. So it makes me feel like that roof seems a bit big. So maybe we're there looking from this angle out, and that's the two-tiered stanchion to the side there. So yeah, this is Elfsborg's Stadium BolS Arena, 16,899. It looks a little bit strange because of the high stanchions in these sides. But I think, if they were to grow, then obviously these two would be as big as that, and then it would be a really nice symmetrical shape. I'm all about the symmetry, Okay, next up is IFK Göteborg. So this is Gothenburg's other club, and historically have been the much larger club and one of the biggest in Sweden, but it's going through a bit of a rough patch, not least to say, because especially a rough patch due to the fact that their cross-city rivals have just won the championship. This is the Gamla Ullevi, the old Ullevi, 18,600, and that's what, well, this looks, that's like a picture, it's not an actual photo. But that is what it looks like on the inside, more or less. Actually, I'll see if I can find a better photo than that. There we are, in the power of editing. I've swapped that picture out and I've got a better one, so you can see the two tiers, the nice blue, light blue colour running all around, nice compact stadium close to the pitch for those fans. So that is the Gamla Ullevi, 18,600 of IFK Göteborg. Next is IFK Norrköping in the Nya Parken, the new park obviously, 15,734. Again, one of the mid-sized stadiums in this league, technically therefore towards the top end of this league. And you've got a couple of combinations here. You've got the roof there and there, but no roof on this section here. And then you've got the gap there. So it's, you can see that we're exactly the same situation in this picture as we are in this one. So we must be like sat there to take this picture. There's no roof over this section. There is over these three, and then there's the gap there. So Nya Parken, quite a nice stadium to be honest. Although if it's raining, you don't want to be sat there, do you? 15,734 for Norrköping. This is definitely one of the smallest we're going to see today. IFK Värnamo, one of the newcomers in the league, I believe. This is Finnvedsvallen, and it's just 5,000. And you can see basically it's a running track with the one stand over here. And that is the stadium. And then it's just trees. So yeah, this is 5,000 for Finnvedsvallen, and this is IFK Värnamo's beautiful, simple little stadium. Next up, IK Sirius, and this is Studenternas IP. It's actually 10,000, which is quite a big stadium for them. It's got, if you look there, with the same angle in both photos, so that's the main stand there, and then these ones are the smaller stand with the roof coming all around. And yeah, so Studenternas IP has got 10,000, and that's for IK Sirius. Quite a decent looking stadium there. Next is one of my favourites, I think. I couldn't get anything better than a very rainy picture of it, I'm afraid. This is Kalmar's, right next to the coast. Kalmar FF-Guldfågeln Arena. It's the Golden Bird. Is that like Golden Bird is in like budgie or 12,000? And yeah, I love the colour. I love the club's colours, the red. I like the high-sided, two-tiered, or actually three tiers in some respect, stanchions with the roof. Obviously in that weather you need a roof. Yeah, so that's a really nice stadium. It's one of my favourites in this particular league, in fact. Next, Malmö. So we're in one of the biggest stadiums in the country now. There's talk of replacing it and changing it and whatnot. And it took me a while to find a picture. I hope this is what it currently looks like. Or I hope it's not like a projection, because it was very difficult to find a decent picture from top down. So let me know in the comment section. This is the, well, it's Eleda Stadion for sponsorship reasons, so it's just called Stadion. Otherwise, 22,500. Obviously, Malmö, one of the biggest clubs in Sweden, very historical in the European competitions as well. 22,500. Large stadium. They've got the club colours there, the light blue. This is where Ibrahimovic started his journey into football, just retired recently. So this is the Eleda Stadion in Malmö. Malmö, for you non-Swedes, is as far south as you can get, basically, and just about half an hour away from Denmark by train. Next up, right on the coast, like literally right on the coast, is Mjällby AIF's stadium, Strandvallen. Well, it's called the beach. Strandvallen, 6,750. So you can see that large stanchion is there. I'm guessing this is it, because if you look at the orange, the sort of bee coloured, the red, the orange and black, you can see that there, and the stadium there. So you've got the two smaller on the sides there, and some caps on the sides and whatnot. So teeny tiny stadium. This is for Mjällby AIF, and this is called Strandvallen, 6,750. Which takes us on to our last one, which is even smaller. This is Varbergs BolS-Påskbergsvallen. Something to do with Easter Mountains, Vale, I don't know, bad translation. 4,500. You can see similar to one of the other stadiums we saw earlier on with the running track and the one main stanchion there. So teeny tiny club, 4,500 capacity for Påskbergsvallen, and this is for Varbergs. Well, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Click like if you did, and of course nominate which league you want to have done next. I've got on the list La Liga from Spain, which I'll do the new season of, and the French La Liga, and other than that, some South American leagues I'm going to do as well. Mexico is on the list, and a couple of others. So if you want to nag me a little bit more and move yours up the list, then drop me a comment and leave a like while you're there. I hope you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new, and thank you so much for watching. Allihopa, thanks.